On guys, and today I wanted to do a video. Shout out The Athletic for the article, but NBA experts, scouts, coaches, and executives, they asked who would win this series and every playoff series. So I just wanted to run through it. And let's go through the second rounds. Anonymous scouts, coaches, and executive picked the second round winners. So we'll start by saying I want to hear your thoughts. Who are your winners for the Miami Heat versus the Sixers, Boston Celtics versus the Bucks, Suns versus Mavs, Grizzlies versus Warriors, and yeah, so let's go. Grizzlies, Warriors, Suns, Mavs, Celtics, Bucks, and Sixers, Heat. So let's figure that out. With the Sixers versus the Heat, look, Kyle Lowry is currently, he's going to miss the first game, but then you look at Philadelphia, they're kind of thin on the bench. Like Georges Niang, he's been cool, but Shake Milton and him, are they going to be able to match, Tyler Hero, Caleb Martin, Duncan Robinson, Dwayne Dedman, Gabe Vincent, okay? The whole plethora of options that the Heat have. And, it seems like, so according to the scouts choose the Miami Heat in 7 games. The coaches choose the Heat in 6. The exec choose the Heat in 6. So it seems like the consensus advancing team is the Miami Heat against the Sixers in 6 to 7 games. Then the Boston Celtics versus the Milwaukee Bucks. Chris Milton being out is key, but Grayson Allen has filled in both. Good. And look over here, it's interesting because the scouts are saying that they have the Boston going to the finals. They have the Defense Player of the Year. Robert Williams is playing well. Al Horford, Grant Williams, and Daniel Tice held their own while he was gone. And that the Celtics have very few weaknesses. But while the Bucks are a championship pedigree, they have Giannis and Jrue Holiday. But he thinks it kind of, after the starting lineup, it drops off. But the coaches and the execs say, you know what? They're going to take the Bucks in 7. Scouts take Celtics in 7. So the consensus advancing is coaches and exec choose Bucks in 7, while the scouts choose just the Celtics. So according to them, the consensus is the Bucks advancing. Then you have the Phoenix Suns versus the Dallas Mavericks, and this one's interesting because the scouts and the exec choose the Suns in 7, while the coach says he looks at the matchup. Mikal Bridges will match up. Jay Crowder will match up with Dončić. Both teams will play small, so it helps. And he thinks that the Dallas Mavericks have the advantage when it comes to small ball because they're a lot better at the three-point line. And Jalen Bronson is playing really well. So is Dončić and Dinwiddie. And they have a great clip. And he thinks that Chris Paul is going to get worn down a bit after you saw how Jose Alvarado was guarding him. And Dallas has bigger defenders that can get into him. The Mavs can switch between Devin Booker and Paul and create that matchup for Phoenix. While the execs think, is Maxi Kleber, Reggie Bullock, Dwight Powell enough to help? Bronson, Dinwiddie, and Dorian Finney-Smith and Dončić. So the scout chooses Suns in 5, and the exec chooses Suns in 7, while the coach chooses the Mavs in 6, which is interesting as all hell. And now to bring it down to the final one, the one where a lot of people, when I made my prediction, they went against. Every single one says, scouts say the Warriors in 5, coaches says Warrior in 7, exec says Warrior in 6. And the reason why, yes, Memphis beat them 3-1 in the regular season, but Golden State wasn't fully healthy. And look, I don't think, Thompson can guard Desmond Bane, and Brandon Clark, he was impactful. But you look at this, between Curry, Thompson, and Jordan Poole, the Warriors have 3 guys who can create for themselves. Thompson's just not just a spot-up shooter. And, of course, they have Draymond Green, the Mr. Do-It-All. And Jaren Jackson Jr., he's had moments of being a disappearing act. So, and the Warriors' defend is so good and special. So right here, it seems like the Golden State Warriors are just rolling hot at the right time. And after seeing how Memphis actually, struggled against the T-Wolves, it'd be surprising. So that's it. What are your thoughts? So it says Warriors over here between 5 and 7 games will win that one. Mavs and Suns. The Suns will win it in 6, allegedly, is the consensus. Bucks, Celtics. It seems like they're taking the Bucks in 7. And then Heat, Sixers. It seems like the Heat are going to win this in 6. What are your thoughts down below? Like and subscribe.